Hello and welcome. Today is Thursday, 15th day of June 2017. Welcome. My name is Derek. Let's go over cryptocurrencies, the main ones, and the information that I talk about. It's however you want to perceive it as. Any decisions in which you decide to make, you got to assume your own risk, own reward decisions in which you are looking for. Always make my ideas your own, and thank you everybody for helping out, at least within the supporting of this channel. Everything gets supported via the advertisement revenue, as well as any cryptocurrency gifts that are sent. So thank you everyone throughout the many weeks, months, and even years that this channel has been going on. I've had a lot of people talking about it. I've been watching you since even 2009, and I put my first video out about it was July, I think, of 2007. Get John Kitna on your fantasy football team. That was the video at the time, and of course things have progressed into different ideas. So let's go over the Bitcoin chart. Obviously, we're here to make money. Let's talk about making money ideas. And 3 days down out of 4, basically 3 in a row, because this is a pause day. It's almost like it doesn't count because it really wasn't an up day. It really wasn't a down day. It was just a bunch of doing nothing after its previous down move, and then it had a down move, another down move. So that's what the story, how it lies. It's not that big of a move. And I think a lot of people will say, and this is a very big correction that has just occurred. And no, it's a very small correction. But yeah, it is decently big. It's went through the 18 average of lows. And that's the first time on the daily chart that's been the case since it was south of 1,000. So it's went from the 900 to 3,000 handle, and it really didn't have much as far as real deep corrections. Okay, it had it in the last month in here. And you noticed it rebounded really fast. That's something that the web bots have been stating that's going to be happening with a lot of these cryptocurrencies. Big, fast, sudden, sharp down moves. And oftentimes they're going to be corrected really fast. Now, what I stated in yesterday's video, based on this high and this low, was that a small correction would be 2250, where it stands now. And a very bigger one would be closer to this point in here. So ultimately, if these lower levels don't hold and we're not getting any rallies, or even any lower high rallies that don't hold, this will be the next area I'd be looking for. If you want to buy Bitcoin on the cheap, you're waiting for a correction. If you're looking for a decent one, you're going 18 and change, 18 area. If you're looking for a deep correction, you'd be looking somewhere in here. If you're looking for just any type of okay correction, you're buying now, it's at 2250. That's how I would perceive it as I'm looking at this now. But definitely cautionary signs in play that this could be that of a further decline. But when buyers when they come over to take control, and I'm very confident in time they will, it's going to eventually test this high and then break it later on. But overall, when you look at this here, barely breaking last previous high after a good correction, that could stand out to that typical failed move, fast move downside. But at the same point, you could say, okay, we're making all of these higher lows in here. And if this does bottom in here and goes back higher, that's simply what that would be. And as stated, a lot of wild, fast down moves that get built back up higher, as far as, at least as the webbot has been stating. On the 4-hour time frame, it made it to that 2250 handle, and shot back up a little bit, and it's been just falling. Many down periods, 18 average declining at an accelerated deep rate at this point. As far as where it was before, at first glance, 2,500 key Fibonacci on any rallies, basically from this high. You can use 3,000, you can use 2,975. 2,975 may work a little better, but for what it's worth, it's all about the same, and it's all in the area anyway of those numbers. And yeah, it's definitely got the weak looking pattern. And as far as where 1850 is, we can even see just on this chart that this would be a matching low as well to late May. Let's move on to Ethereum. And it's in at 300, looking at the same 4-hour time frame as well. And its move, markets usually come back to where they came from. You know, it's just, it really is simple. If you're looking to where you buy, you want to know, where do I put a buy order? Well, somewhere around 275, 270. Oh, look how well that would hit. Something to keep in mind for so many different markets. You break out from a key point and now you're rolling over. You want to know where to buy that previous key point. And in here, that was around 270, which was the bottom so far. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily a good buy. If you hold it, it goes lower. But you already got instant profit if you want at this stage. And as stated before, with the web bot, it's expected to keep going higher. Everyone is dumping into cryptos. Will this be a key point? Well, it's not that deep of a pullback, and there definitely can be a lot of deeper ones, but it is still a correction. And now if you're looking for strength, you want to see the 18 average band in a rising format showing some sort of good setup. It's got a long ways to go for that as of now. And of course, if you're looking to get in on the cheap, that's why you put buy orders for areas like in here. Now within the daily chart, it's just a small correction, much different again from Bitcoin. And if you're looking for a deeper correction, where it was at a key point, psychological numbers, 200, that's where you'd be looking to buy. Just a small buy would have been where it was here, around the 260 number. But no, as far as a deeper buy here, and deeper than that, you're looking at 100. You may never get it. It may never come back to 100. But if it does, and you are ready to buy at that level, easiest way is with automated buy orders, then you will get in. And because you've had the correctionary phase, you're always looking for setups. And the two that I'm looking for is one, the leaving of this band. That can give you a good indication. That's a setup like in here. And then the breaking of resistance after a good correction, which is something like around in here. So those would be the kind of setups in which I'd be looking for. And now let's move on to the Ethereum cross with Bitcoin. And if you're wondering, well, how is Ethereum looking so much better recently compared to Bitcoin, which is just having deeper corrections? And the answer is, I think, the volatility levels. As Ethereum, when it had huge gains, that was the percentage moves are larger for Ethereum. But regardless of this chart, it has overall well outperformed Bitcoin. And since this leg higher, it's working on the correctionary mode, the settling in. And that's what a lot of these things do. Up move side, up move side, up move in here, sideways action, sideways here. And then we know when this thing can start to break away from the sideways action. That's when opportunities for great long positions enter into play. And that's what it looks like we're going to be looking for. Maybe there's going to be a lot more sideways action because it's usually like 6, 7 days, a week plus of going sideways, and now it's only been 3 days so far within this time frame, but something to keep your eye on. The 18 average has got a few days before it can catch up, and price action has a little ways to go as well. Next up is Dash, and we're looking at this on the daily time frame. This is priced in Bitcoin, and this is something I am looking to accumulate. I am accumulating in the early entry positions because when I'm looking about strength within the band, I'm looking for the bullish patterns to appear, and that's what's appearing right now. We see it's been nicely rising. I can see these higher highs and lows within the band. Price action, of course, following within such because it's pretty much what it's following. I'm seeing support at this previous resistance area that I've already entered into some positions, and I know breaking in past these key points, you're ready to have a decent leg higher. You got your uptrend, the long sideways consolidation. So this is something I like that I'm accumulating right now. Let's move on to Ethereum Classic, and I just noted within the Ethereum chart anyway that it's only been going sideways for a short period of time, while the Classic has been doing it for a decent period. And notice since the late February bottom, up move, side, up move, and then this side consolidation after the price move, up move, side. So the key resistance points I'm looking for is in here, and again the previous high. The 18 average band has not been any declining facet, although when a little sideways here, starting to go higher. That I do like its current setup where it's finding support where it found resistance. That it does have a decent pattern, but it is in the sideways consolidation point. Litecoin is next, and it's having an interesting good day, showing some signs of some good possible bullish activity as within this downtrend. I can see that price action sees the band starting to go higher 2 days above the 18 average. I think if you wanted to get in, this just small entry points at this stage, I would like to see a bit better of a bullish scenario, ideally going sideways for a few days with maybe a little bit of up momentum might be a good thing that I'm looking for. Ideally though, maybe a small push higher, a little bit of retracement, and then whatever this resistance point happens to be when it's looking to break past that, that would be an idea too. But definitely if I had to choose between buying, holding, and selling, I would be flipping a coin between buying and holding. ZEC or Zcash, it's had a nice run up to previous high. If you're looking for where it's come from or came from, this would be the approximate area. Furthermore, if you make a move to a point like this, like a key high, especially where you hardly went to this level and it was overextended when it was, if this consolidates in this area for a decent amount of time, then that's going to change the message of the market from being really bullish and overextended to just being really bullish and no longer overextended. But I would be looking for a correction back in here if I was looking to find the best entry point as far as getting in on the cheap. Now let's take a look at Steem, and it's already came back to where it was. Markets come back to where they come from. And how often have we seen this? Up and sideways. And what do we all know about breaking past this resistance? Yeah, it's really good. And back in here, this is when the market was very bullish and overextended. Now it's just very bullish. However, you can still have further declines to where it used to come from if this support area doesn't hold. So just as we know breaking resistance, we also know breaking support. And here, that these lower areas would probably be tested. This again is the Steem chart. And finally, Monero. This is something I can only really hold for the long term or just easy swing trading. It's really hard to read much momentum into this. I mean, I guess you got this curve pattern. It's at the bottom end of this level, but I cannot really say much as far as different buy here, sell here, because there really isn't much within it. And this is just an example of why having just huge, insane buy and sell orders work. Because if you're trading in here and you're like, yeah, let's just put an order in for like, say, 22, and then you wake up this morning, you're like, oh, wow, I sold at 22 and it's back down to 18. I guess I'll buy that back and, well, decent gain. And so, stuff like that. Anyway, take care.